early arrival, Guardian. Another egg from my clutch will soon pass by our reality. You should prepare to claim it. It is a strange turn of events that they were cast into the Ascendant Plane. Strange, but not unintentional, I suspect. Ask yourself, who would benefit from such a situation? Who wields the requisite mastery over the ley lines? Who has a history of sequestering the Ahamkara to keep them hidden? I said before that I do not trust Mara Sov. Tell me, do you? She offers you praise and gifts, bequeaths to you a share of her power. Is she so different from an Ahamkara? From me? Do you truly believe she wishes for nothing in return? Know this, Guardian. I have been forthright about what I stand to gain from our arrangement. A future for my otherwise extinct kind. Mara, on the other hand, what does she stand to gain?
The Techian's calculations look promising so far. The next egg should be close. Be cautious. The Taken have already gained a foothold here.
They spread their influence with mindless fervor, much like awoken royalty. Wrath of the Queen, this is not your fight. Somewhere out there, a pack of doomed corsairs waits for you.
I'll be there. They know I'll always be there.
You want to help them. You would do anything.
I will. Without you.
Absent a commanding will, the Taken return to more basic directives. Their corruption may reshape these holes. Deal with them before the path collapses around us. You set obstacles in our path, mock our efforts, all while we seek to save your eggs. Is gloating over the ruin you made of our home worth losing them forever?
You set the snare, then complained that I refused to lay my neck within it. To beg and weep for what you desire, that is not in me.
That beast is a nexus of corruption. Such a high concentration of energy will destabilize the ley lines. Destroy it, or our efforts end here.
Another egg secured. Well done, Guardian.
The Taken aren't the only creatures attempting to thwart us. Riven seeks to entangle us in another loop, to keep us chasing down her clutch while the Witness runs rampant.
If this is a game, it suits your purposes. Sealing the eggs away, buying time for your broken warlock to cheat me. You have my terms. See this through, or make peace with your fate.
You've made excellent progress, but the remainder of the clutch will never reach us if they remain on their current trajectories. Queen Mara and her Techians once communed with the Harbingers, entities that can traverse the weft and weave of the ley lines. Mara's personal Harbinger can bring the clutch home, but she'll need to guide it with a signal. We need you to retrieve a Starlight Lodestone. It's a channeling medium the Queen can use to signal the Harbinger. All this to help Riven while the Dreaming Halls remain locked in her curse. The temporal loop that binds the Dreaming City could continue to plague the reef indefinitely. I wish my people could rest. I wish I could aid the trapped Corsairs across our shores. But Riven's curse is just a preamble compared to the final shape. The Witness seeks to finish what it started with the collapse. And so we remain occupied. And Rhea Sylvia burns. I regret we can do no more to advance your position in the field, but I'll be in touch as soon as the Queen finishes her communion.
How many ceremonies did I attend here? They weren't all lofty, serious affairs. Inkasi is slain, until she rises again. She'll go on haunting the Chamber of Starlight forever. Shuro Chi says, if beautiful places cannot survive, why fight at all? I'll have to come up with an answer for her. Bring back the Lodestone Guardian. Let's move on.
So this is what? The third bargain we've struck with a compulsive liar?
Having your back to the wall is never a good feeling.
It's so much worse. Being back in the Dreaming City.
Now that you remember?
I know every inch of it. The gardens, the palace. How it used to be. Before Riven's curse.
Oh. Crow.
If it wasn't for me, the curse would never have happened.
Riven used you. Used us. Our grief, our desperation. I wanted vengeance more than anything. The truth is, if I thought hiding from my guilt would help anyone, I'd be on the far side of the system.
You don't think we're just making the same mistake?
Uldren used to say, if you don't like the odds, don't sit at the table. Trusting Riven is a risk. But without her, we have no way of pursuing the Witness. I'd rather risk failing than wait here for the final shape.
Right there with you.
Guardian, we are coming to the final moments. These choices, these risks, they mean everything. Mara requests that I provide some small measure of insurance should Riven prove too perilous a gamble. I've learned the Veil is linked to the Traveler, that this link was not created. It is a primal truth of their existence, a pairing. The Witness accessed this link through your ghost. The motions of what it did are written in the Veil's own memory. But like an incantation, without the ritual, the understanding, the words, so to speak, the motions, are useless. My attempts to recreate what the Witness did, to follow it, have been inadequate. And dangerous. I must temper my ambitions. The Veil is the power of consciousness, made manifest in our physical world. It whispers an electromagnetic language that resonates with our minds. One that can be deciphered, but not by the laws we wield in this universe. It's no easy task. If there is another way to follow the Witness, I'll find it here on Neptune. It will take time, as all things do. Continue to aid Mara, and I will uncover what knowledge I can.
Another egg safely retrieved. I may have to make good on my word. Though from what the Techyons whisper, the rest will prove more elusive. Mara may have to take drastic measures to catch them. All reward requires risk. Mara knows this truth better than most. That is what first enticed me to stay with the Sov siblings. their penchant for adventure, their unquenchable ambition. Each of them deliciously reckless in their own way. Your crow hides it well, but I can still smell Aldrin's daring nature on him. Imagine what he could accomplish if only he'd embrace it. Ah, but you charge headlong into danger without a second thought, all for the promise of power. I knew from the first moment I set eyes on a light-bearer that your kind would change everything for the Ahamkara. And oh, how right I was.
Queen Mara, I hail you now out of necessity of the heart. Else I feel as though I will burst into solar flame. Long have I admired you from afar, ever since you graced me with your power and benevolence in the Wreath Wars. Not a day goes by without me thinking back to the time you bade me repay that debt to you. How we spent hours together, long into the night. Would that you spirit me to your side again, to serve as your consort, your knight, your humble vassal, anything to be near you. I beg you to grant me an audience once more. Please give me the gift and the privilege of basking in your favor. For without you, I shall wither and crumble into dust, to be scattered across the cosmic winds.
This again? You and I both know he sounds nothing like that, Riven.
Perhaps I should use a voice with which you are even more intimately familiar. How about...
Do not speak her name.
As you wish, O Majesty mine.
The Techians are in final preparations for the Lodestone. Your work in its calibration was invaluable. It will serve as a beacon for the Queen to make contact with her personal harbinger. She'll commune with it. Ask it to guide the remainder of the clutch back to us. It's the last of its kind. And it's good to see a harbinger, normally a weapon of war, used for diplomacy. Even with Riven. In the past, the pinnacle of the Spine of Keres provided the open sky the Queen needed for this communion. It will suffice again. But the Taken can test that region, as they have since Riven's curse rang out. They will hinder your every step. So cut through them, secure the spine, and the Queen will do the rest.
Communion with my Harbinger requires we access the highest point of the Spine of Keres. But Riven's curse remains.
The curse brings new Taken to the region every cycle. So hunt them and our work can begin. Once the spine is secure, Sadia and the Techians can light a beacon for the Harbinger. find 2 ogres within, Guardian. As all Guardians have since the curse began. All across this region, the Corsairs remain as well. Reliving this nightmare is a matter of course, as we bend backward to aid the Ahamkara that unleashed this.
One crisis at a time, my wrath.
Yes, my...
Well struck. The observatory is secure. Sadia and the Techians are now free to signal my Harbinger. We'll use it to pull the clutch within our reach. The Harbingers once aided the Awoken against the likes of the Taken King. But your actions today shall allow a Harbinger to aid in diplomacy. For perhaps the first time.
Even if it is with an enemy of the state.
Just the same. All things are handled here, Guardian, thanks to you. I need your strength elsewhere.
Guardian, I'm seeing a lot of Scorn activity ahead. I doubt they understand what it is we're after, but they'll get in our way all the same.
Such callousness toward your creations. I suppose they have a new master now. Do you remember how you brought me to the Dreaming City for the first time?
I remember.
You sought a gift for your sister. Something that could delight and surprise her.
Let's stay focused.
Glowing altar. Always a good sign.
Is it?
Stay sharp, Guardian. Pick up enough ether corruption, and you should be able to slip past their defenses.
Your faded prince has experience in such matters. Best to follow his lead.
These Scorn can't be getting fresh orders from the Witness. What are they up to?
Poisoning every corner of the Dreaming City they can reach.
Perhaps they resemble their creator. Or aimless yearning.
I yearn for you to stop talking.
There, the head of the snake.
Are they after the egg?
Itchy. You'll have to put this one down as well.
Those shields aren't impermeable. Turn their own poison against them.
I understand the Queen's reluctance, but you've done the Witness's bidding before. Why not again?
Kill my friends to bring on the final shape? No thanks.
A wish to end suffering. You made such a wish once, and brought about so much death.
You know that wasn't what I wanted.
You should have been more careful with your words.
Enough! It's done! The Queen is waiting.
I heard you over the comm channels. I am sorry that we are forced to entreat with Riven. She and I have our own histories to navigate, but what she did to you, How she wormed her way into your mind? That was inexcusable. It pains me to put you through this.
Even after all that's happened, you still think I need to be protected.
No, that is not.
It's all right, Mara. I understand. We've always shared a connection. Even when you were lost in the Ascendant Plane, I could still feel your presence. Your heartbeat. I knew you weren't truly gone. Riven was only able to manipulate me because of how strong our connection was. Is. I've made choices I'm not proud of. But I'll never apologize for the reason I made them. It's the same reason you reach out even now, when you see me struggling. You're my sister. Nothing can break that bond. Not death, not Riven, not even the light.
Like Ager and Rhaegar, finding each other in the storm.
Yeah, well... all that we've been through. That's no fable. We stood together as the world collapsed around us.
And we'll stand together again.
Guardian, I'm afraid progress is slow. The Veil is a clever tangle in and of itself. It reforms as the consciousnesses connected to it ebb and flow. They rush in, awash with dreams and wonder, and then drain away. I believed that once I understood the Veil, mechanically, once I understood Strand, that I would see its patterns with new clarity. That has not happened. This is not like charting a course through the currents of a sea or the depths of space. It is an architecture defined by how we intend to imagine it. Not dissimilar to the Ascended Plane, but if more like its opposite. The Ascended Plane mirrors aspects of our world, aspects of will and import, to those who traverse it. Those aspects are decided upon through our actions. The Veil, conversely, weaves not with our will, not our decisions, but with intent, unfiltered by logic. What we feel, not what we decide. Mapping such a thing would be like rebuilding a creature from the calcified remains we found aboard the pyramid ships. They are an image of a dissection, a deadened echo of existence. But to look at them as they are, to see their disparate parts, even understanding their anatomy does not give us the knowledge to make them as they were. I will continue to seek the path the Witness forged into the Traveler. But I am no longer confident that it could ever be walked again. Riven may be our only option.
So many wish to be closer with their family. The absent and the estranged cause rifts in a person's psyche. I hear them even now. Let me speak to my father again, one last time. Let my daughter see me for who I am. One of the stranger human impulses, don't you find? Above all, Ahamkara want to feed, to drink deep of the gulf between desire and reality. Other Ahamkara are competitors for limited resources, not allies. The only exception is a mate. Sometimes we reach beyond ourselves. Perhaps if we stood by one another more, we'd have survived the great hunt. If we were a little more human. But that bargain is not within our natures to make.
Osiris, are you on this channel?
I am. Quite frequently these days. How may I assist the Queen's wrath?
A personal matter. I was hoping you could tell me about your experience with Strand, how it's affected you.
Strictly research, but it is fascinating.
We know you've learned to wield it.
Who told you this? Mara. The rumors are true, though I am still only a figment of my former self.
That's understandable. But your worth was never seated in the light. It's in your mind.
I imagine I'm not unlike one of your Techians, then. If I'm not mistaken, the Queen mentioned you trained as one yourself.
A long time ago, without much success. Though my sister, Pinar, excelled in her training. She was the pride of Amethyst. I was not. But, even with that power, she couldn't stop the House of Wolves from razing our home. I joined the Corsairs shortly after, to hunt the wolves down.
Loss has a way of shaping us all.
And clouding us. I thought the decisions I was making were the ones required of me. A kind of honor-bound reaction to pressure. I burned bridges across the reef on my hunt. Without Mara, I'd be an outcast. Now, seeing the new Coven, having their respect, their trust, I can do more than just react. Maybe I can tap into that training for something progressive. As something other than a Techian. For the benefit of our people.
I've learned that failure is not a lacking within us. It is a sign that we were not ready to face the challenge we chose at the time. We must fall to start again, Petra. But as long as we persist, hope remains. Potential remains. Perhaps you're ready now.
Pues vos soles.